Well, good morning, guys. This is going to be a little bit unorthodox, but the customer didn't want to spend the money on the extra pipe, so we decided that we're going to rip wrap this bowl here, and that's all I really know. But we're gonna dig this stick of pipe in, have it go down towards that. We're gonna put like a dissipator pad down there in the bottom, and just kind of, I don't know what we're gonna try to achieve here, but that's what we got to work with. We've got 2 foot of freeboard on this dam. I left it a little lower over there, or if it does need to pour over the top of the dam, it's got an opportunity to over there. And but anyway, I'm gonna take the excavator and pat this slope in real good. I may bring the big one down here when I get this ditch dug, but I'm gonna set you guys up here on top of the machine and let you watch me dig this in. I've got to dig it in sideways because I don't have any room to get in beside of it, so
Let me make sure I'm aimed in the right spot. I think I am. Oh yeah, I need to dig that out just a little better there. We'll be peachy. I think. That's close. Pretty close, guys. Pretty close. unorthodox, but there you have it, guys. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And unfortunately for me, that's what I had to do. But we've got plenty of fall back that way now. Pipe should go right in there. Got it right in perfect in line with that pipe down there. I'm gonna take and dig that out. I'm gonna take the mini down there and dig that out. And what we're gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna take the big track hoe, if I can get it down here, and I'm gonna pat this slope in really good. This is all clay. It's just got about 4 inches of topsoil on the top of it here. We're gonna pat it in real good, and we're gonna rip wrap this whole thing, and we're gonna make a big dissipator bowl down here, and this pipe's gonna stick out. I hope it's long enough. Should be. This pipe's gonna stick out to probably right in here somewhere, and we're gonna have at least 6 inches, if not 8 inches, of riprap on this slope, and we're gonna have a big dissipator bowl down there. That way, when this water comes out, hits that riprap and goes right in that pipe. That's what we that's really the only way we had to do it. This stuff turned out great. I got this to lay in here really good. And if you really want to know the truth about it, guys, I wish the customer would have done it. But I don't know if you've ever seen Let's Dig 18. He built that big lake for I can't remember the guy's name now. Big lake, like 5-acre lake. I wanted to stack those boxes in there and put a grate somewhere down there kind of close to the road and fill this slope all the way across, but those boxes were like $1,500 a box. Customer didn't want to pay that. I can't really blame them, guys. I mean, when you can put a $400 or $500 stick of pipe in here and holler suey and buy you some riprap, I mean, by the time we bought the grate and 3 boxes, it was going to be like $4,000. So I can't blame him at all. But that's the game plan, guys. We're going to make it look pretty. It's going to look really good. I'm excited to get this one done. We've got to move on to other stuff. But there's the back slope there. I know some of you guys were worried about how it was going to lay in here, but I've got him a nice ditch down through there. He's gonna have a landscape company come in and mat that, so he can start mat it and seed it, and we're cut down on some erosion there, and it's gonna be pretty, guys. But I'm gonna go down there and dig that bowl out, get it ready for rock, and rock should be here within the hour, and I'm gonna get this thing rocked, guys, and pat this slope in with the big track hoe, and we're gonna call this one the job. All right, guys, the rock has arrived. I'm trying to get it put into place here. Hopefully you guys can see pretty good. I'll tilt you down a little. There you go. A little unorthodox the way we're having to do it, but the mini can't reach. Mini can't reach up here to this top slope, so I'm having to put it in from the top. Which is working, it's working fine. I've got to kind of put it in and then pull it up here to the top, pat it in. Try to put this stuff in a little thick because we've got 2 loads coming. About the best way I know to do it. Sorry if I've got my big old head in the way. I'm trying to But the customer didn't want to. Spend the money on some boxes that we needed down there to raise this slope on up where we could just fill it in with dirt. So we're having to build a riprap bowl around through there. We're getting it. Be all right. Basically just building a big dissipator pad down there. I'll let him do that with the 80. I'm just trying to kind of get a berm down there that way I don't end up filling in the. Now he's getting smart. I hope he doesn't scratch the road up too bad, but it'll be all right. Let it roll out very gentle. It won't roll down the slope as far. And it'll stay put. That pipe, the county's gonna have to come out here and dig that pipe up because we didn't do that. When we got here, that was the first thing that I saw, and I'm pretty sure I got it on camera before we ever even did anything out here. That pipe was chock full of mud, silt, and so they're gonna have to either snake a chain through there and pull a tire under the road or something. But I mean, it doesn't even daylight out over there across the road. That's the biggest problem. It just deadheads out there in the damn, you know, right there at the edge of the road, and it's higher. You know, I don't understand their thought process there. But I guess it's not really for me to understand. One load may have done this, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Put 2 loads in here, get this really secure, really looking good, and I'll let him fix the bottom down there with the Mini. I'm just trying to get this top slope up here because you can't reach from the road down there with the Mini, and I didn't want to walk this steel track machine in the road. We're scratching the road up as it is, or he is. He's not being very, very careful digging. He'll dig the side of the road up here in a minute. But didn't really have much of a choice. Pros of having a hydraulic quick coupler on these machines.
trying to buy a D6N. I just lowballed the guy, and he said he couldn't take it. So, I mean, I don't really blame him, but I figured it's been on there for 2 months, and he hadn't sold it. So sometimes people get in a hurry. Like, oh dang, I ain't never gonna sell this thing. I guess I need to come down on my price. If you lowball them enough, they might come to their senses and be like, man, I'm asking too much money for this thing. But he is. It's a 12, 13, it's a 14-year-old dozer with 8,000 hours. I think he's asking a little too much money for it, in my opinion. See if I can get this rock to stay up here. Real careful, oh yeah, perfect. Get some right in front of the pipe. That's where I really want the riprap the thickest, where the water is going to come out of that pipe. And I'll pat all this in when I get some opportunity. I'm just trying to get it placed right now. Probably leave a channel there and a channel there to try to cut down on that washing. I'll cover my, or I'll clean the end of that pipe out. I got it actually pretty dang good right there. All right, guys, we're gonna finish getting this rock put in here, and I'll give you guys an update here in a minute. Load number 2. About to get this one wrapped up, folks. This is really the only good way of doing this. That's how we had to do it. Fix it all back, it'll be fine. I think I can reach down here. So, we've got a little spot up here. I've got
start at the bottom. Kind of work your way to the top because it get in the dirt.
You guys see good?
Yeah. I'm gonna put a little extra down there in that bottom. Make sure it doesn't wash down there in the bottom. That's the most important part. It was cheaper ultimately to do this, but it wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't have been too much more money to do it right, you know. But this riprap's going to look good. I'm happy with that. I just wish you would have elected to went with the boxes. Oh, we got a car. We got our first car. I figured it was gonna. Oh, we got two cars. I figured it was gonna happen eventually. Well, hell, buddy, you got 6 foot over here. Man, some people just can't drive. I think that's the common denominator. It's just. I didn't know if he saw that car or not. That lady's kind of hateful. She's giving us a pretty hard time on this project. Dang, I hope it don't rain. I've got to haul 2 more loads of topsoil to a guy when I get done with this. I guess whoever they did the dirt work for is fussing at because they didn't put down enough topsoil. And so I got to go back out there and get them 2 more loads of topsoil. And they told me, you know, late notice that they needed topsoil, and I'm like, guys, I'll try to get to you, but I said I've got other obligations, you know. Topsoil is just a side hustle for me. I should be able to get out of his way when I Easy. There you go. All those scratch marks they'll wash right off. First rain, guys. It ain't no thing. I promise you, when the county or the city does road work like this, they hurt the road way worse than we do. A little bit more, just a little bit more over there. I've got this top up here pretty good. I guess I could just let him put the rest of the riprap in. He'll have a little bit more control of it. get a good healthy coat. That's the biggest thing, is getting it good and thick, where the water will go right over the top of it, wash right down in there, and get out that pipe. I like to pat it in, it just makes it look better. There is a pipe there. I got it all pretty much covered up, where the water will come right out the end of the pipe really good. We've got a pretty good amount of riprap to get rid of. We needed another load, so we'll find a way to get the waste out here. Really and truly, I'd like to look here. It wouldn't look horrible to put some on the front of that pipe, but that's really not needed. We gotta come back out here sometime in the future and dig pipe that spring. That spring ended up being a pretty good ways below the top of our high water mark. Up way up above the hill, so we were never going to be able to make it gravity feed down there, like on the top of the ground. So we're going to have to order some pipe for him, and we're going to have to order some pipe for him and end up piping that spring that's up there, that head, that way up there in that holler, and try to get that water down in here to his pond. So the way it is right now, it's just not going to work. We've got a good healthy dose of riprap in this thing now. Get it good patted in. It'll be a while, and I'm talking about a while, before there's any water coming out of this. Where's that pipe at? There it is. I covered up my own pipe, and now I forgot where it is. But gotta get all this padded in up here. I actually need a little up here. I didn't fix this edge a little. But I know there were several of you that were concerned with how this was going to tie in here. I'll be happy to get this done and let you guys see it. I need to bring this on out. Come on. Sorry. I whooped him with that edge of the bucket there on accident. There you have it, guys. That's the finished product. Man, it looks good. Really good. Got him running a swell in here for this runoff that comes down this back side. It'll go right down into the bottom of this ditch. Get out that pipe right there. Here's our pipe. It's gonna work out good. Gonna work out good. I gotta get off these rocks before I break my ankle. But guys, that's gonna wrap this video up. We got the back slope all cut in. Dam's on grade. Got a spillway put in here where water can get out that pipe and go right in the ditch. Whoever designed this is a moron, but we can't do nothing about that. But that doesn't daylight out. Hell, you have to dig it out, come down yonder to get it to daylight out. But so guys, let's go wrap this one up here. Appreciate everybody watching. Try to get this one live for you. And,